the river which ran away. There indeed flows the Waikato River. Her creation began a long time ago. Tongariro and Taupiri, brother and sister, lived together in Taupo land of the two whare toa. Taupiri grew into a beautiful young woman and met a man, a rangatira, from Tainui. They were married and moved far away to the land of the Tainui people. Taupiri lived happily for many, many years. Tongariro missed his sister terribly. One day, Taupiri became very ill. Taupiri called her trusty servant and asked her servant and Kuri to go to her brother Tongariro. The servant met with Tongariro and explained how his sister was very ill, and had sent him to ask for the sacred waters to help heal her. Tongariro told the servant he must eat and rest first. Tongariro woke the servant before dawn and took him to the sacred springs. Tongariro raised his tokotoko and down towards the earth. He touched the rock and the sacred waters gushed from the rock. Tongariro filled the servant's calabashes and gave a command for the waters to follow the servant back to Taupiri. The servant rushed back down to Taupiri, not knowing that he was going the wrong way. The Kuri rushed to warn the villagers about the gushing river flowing behind him. But from the north and east, with the smell of salt, it filled the air. The young river just had to go to sea, so away it went, rushing to the Kaimai Hills and Tauranga.
Stop! Stop! Come back!
There was no little Kuri to control the young river as it flowed between the gaps of the hill. Feeling the strength of its currents, the river swept past the servant away to the waiting sea at Hauraki. The servant helplessly watched the river go by, as there was nothing he could do. The entire village turned out to welcome him home. There was singing and dancing, and a great feast was prepared for all to enjoy. Taupiri was delighted to receive calabashes of water. The servant told Taupiri everything except for the runaway river. Only the little Kuri knew the whole story. When Taupiri was well again, the people marvelled at the healing waters sent by Tongariro. They had to go and get more of this wonderful water. The servant finally decided it was time to tell the story of the runaway river. When the story was finished, everyone moaned, but Taupiri knew exactly what to do. She began to recite the ancient karakia. In awesome silence, the people shivered at Taupiri's words. They rose into the sky and the wind picked up the karakia and carried it southward. Tongariro heard Taupiri's karakia and knew at once the child river had not obeyed his command. He began to chant his most powerful karakia, evoking powerful forces to come to his aid. A low growl came from the earth and the mountains bowed to Ruamoko. The earthquake god was waking up. He turned his rage upon the earth, great ravines swallowed hills and flaming mountains rose. When the anger of Ruamoko was stilled, the land had changed completely.
Moko enganurine!
Confused, the child river sloshed about crazily, the strength of its current gone. Tall cliffs barred its way to the seas of Hauraki. It knew not where it was going. The strength of its current had grown, but it felt lost and lonely, until it heard the familiar barking. There was the little white Kuri enticing it to follow. All the way to Taupiri, the child river rippled merrily after the little white Kuri. Taupiri and her people saw the water approaching. The river slowed its current and spread its flow so the people could enjoy its cool, refreshing waters. Now it could hear the tides of the ocean beating upon the western shore. The river turned and raced away to join the inviting seas. Since then, the river has been faithful to the command of Tongariro. To this day, it carries joy and sustenance to Taupiri, her people and the lands of the Tainui people. The river is called Whitu